for my conscience. Brian James in LA, you're on college. I've been jumping on them planes like a hobby. Still moving with the pack like my partners. Hit the John on them jets cause you wildin'. But the bowl is a party on the island. Moment of silence. So good, get back to the topic. Grew up, it was me and Flocka. Grandma's and Big T, this my mama. I ain't even for the pain when my pops flipped. Knew his name, that's it, never bothered. Mom said, you the man, son, you got this. Ever since I found a way to go and pop shit. Hold up, blaze through a whole zip. Took a seat at the table of my first flip. Days in red roof with my first whip. Split the money with the gang, never post pics. Seen a change in the game, had to coach it. Never let them take my wangs in the mold, bitch. Ever made in a month, nigga. Used to serve him at the minute just to front, nigga. Goddamn. Had to grow up quick, I made my own rules. Had my first child, got it jumping with music. Can't really hang with nobody who losing. I thought by now that you would go and get it, but I could hardly see niggas this distant. Know you get cropped if you not in the picture. And I made that zag and went got a bag. Shots to the Henny and OG prescriptions, put rebel shit on the map. Took a leap from where I started at. Started ballin' now, Chris Paul and Cats. Got them steady calling for the mold, but I'm on a roll, gotta call him back. And that's all fact.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. All carry-on items should now be stowed securely, either in an overhead bin or under the seat in front of you. All aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas should now be clear. All electronic devices should now be turned off and stowed, as they may interfere with the aircraft's navigational and communication systems. Once airborne, we'll let you know when you may use approved electronic devices, but note that some items may not be used at any time during the flight. You'll find a list of approved devices in the in-flight information
Oh shit. Oh shit, we're live. Oh damn. Oh damn. Oh shit. Is anybody watching? Oh, there are people watching? Yo, for real, there are people watching right now? Oh shit, hang on, y'all. I gotta check out the channel real quick. Let's look at the channel. Have people been watching my channel? I don't even think people have been watching my channel lately. Gang, hold on, I gotta pull up the fucking YouTube studio real quick. What? No way. What the fuck? Y'all, hang on. Yo, I could have swore nobody was watching our fucking channel. Y'all, what the fuck? What the fuck? Y'all. The last video we did, almost 300 people watched. 22 hours ago, 219 people watched. 1 day ago, 266 views. 2 days ago, 166 views. 3 days ago, 143 views. 3 days ago, 323 views. 5 days ago, 319 views. 12 days ago, when I read Nancy's letter, 397 views. Yeah, here we are, 104 days out from NanoCon, and no one has anything to say. I literally didn't realize I was because I thought I was just sitting here by myself. I thought I was just sitting at home alone on a Saturday having a drink, smoking some weed. I thought I must just be yelling into the void and nobody can hear the sound of my voice. I was sure I just been making all these hours and hours and hours and hours about content and that about Nanocon and that nobody was watching. I thought maybe is this thing on? Maybe I was having audio problems or fucking something. Where the fuck is the content? There are 104 days until Nanocon. At last year's Nanocon, Elliot Martin, secular rarity, threw Nancy from the Apostate Sisters down the stairs. See, y'all don't like that? Y'all don't like that? When I say he threw her down the stairs and I kind of make that tossing motion, you know what I mean? Like that kind of like that sack of potatoes, like you just been carrying the sack of potatoes and it's so heavy and you just toss it off. You don't like that? Well, maybe you should read her letter because she describes it as more of a She describes it more of like a pushed me down the stairs with both open palms. So would y'all like that better? Instead of saying tossed her down the stairs, he pushed her down the stairs with both open palms. And then choked her. Oh, you didn't like how it felt when I choked the mic? Oh, I shouldn't do that. Did that bother you? Did it bother you that I choked the fucking microphone without your consent? A whole ass grown woman was thrown down the stairs and choked by Elliot Martin, secular rarity, at last year's Nanocon. And then it was, we got to hear from Nancy. We need to hear from her. Nancy, we need to hear from you. Nancy saw her sister and a bunch of other survivors running around like crazy, like chickens with their heads cut off for months, trying to tell her story, trying to get people to pay attention. And they wanted to cancel her sister, cancel all the whistleblowers. They've been getting the smear campaign too. And hold on, we need to hear from you. Y'all don't have Nancy's permission. Where about Nancy? Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy? What does Nancy have to say? What does Nancy have to say? We need to hear it from Nancy. Nancy said, Patty, hold my beer. Wrote a 10-page notarized letter addressed directly to the atheist YouTube community, explaining exactly what happened. Where is the fucking content? There is 104 days to Nanocon. What the fuck are y'all waiting for? Holy, just fucking crickets around here. The speakers for this year's upcoming Nanocon include Matt Dillahunty, Promise Backlund, Hemet Mehta, Monte Mader, Fish Stark, Forrest Valkai, Candace Gorham, Glenda Jordan, Kevin Crow, Christina Celeste, Gail Jordan, David Teachout, Sam McGuire, Will Judy, Jake Villa, and that human waste of a perfectly good ejaculate, 1A Ruley. Y'all know we got to save the worst for last. The sponsors at this year's Nano Con include Polaris Financial Planning, the American Humanist Association, American Atheist, Godless Engineer, Black Nonbelievers, the Humanist of Tennessee, the Atheist Community of Austin, Secularizing U.S., Recovering from Religion, the Secular Student Alliance, the Clergy Project, Americans United for Separation of Church and State, Nashville, Think Squared Media, Stephen Barry, LMT, Massage Services, Think This Through YouTube channel. Do y'all know why we put this at the goddamn beginning of every stream? Can you think about why we might every fucking stream start by reminding you that all of your fave YouTubers are going to be the featured speakers, along with the flying monkeys themselves, like Glenda Jordan, that human waste of a perfectly good ejaculate, Miss A.J. Ruley. And before y'all get on my case fucking talking about I'm being an asshole and I'm calling people names and I'm being a misogynist, I said a human waste of a perfectly good ejaculate, one A.J. Ruley. I said the bitch is human. I'm already giving her way too much fucking credit up in this bitch. I should really say that demon fucking spawn waste of a perfectly good fucking ejaculate. That subhuman trash, that flying monkey. See, that honestly, I got a problem with the term flying fucking monkeys. Nobody should be calling these people fucking flying monkeys. Because that shit's disrespectful to fucking monkeys. Take it up with psychology. I don't know what to tell you. Why do you think we keep telling you who the fucking sponsors are at the beginning of every fucking session? You need to be hitting these motherfuckers up, asking them why are they still signed up for this shit? Why is this event still happening? Why has there been no accountability? And why the fuck isn't anybody talking about the assault at Nanocon? What's up? Y'all got homework to do. Email these motherfuckers, get in their Discords, get in their DMs. Demand some motherfucking answers. Take it to the streets. What are you waiting for? There's 104 fucking days until NanoCon. Where is the fucking content? This is y'all. This is the entire atheist community. This mad, unhinged, fucking pointy ass woman. This a woman in the lot who's just a Trump defender, which basically, I don't know if y'all know what's going on in the atheist community, but the motherfuckers is MAGA. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm just here to fucking tell you. First off, who is in the fucking atheist community? Who are all the, y'all already know, we've been telling y'all. Patriarchy, capitalism, and white supremacy. Duh. So where did these motherfuckers, who were they? A hot minute ago, they were fundamentalist, Christo-fascist, evangelical fucking assholes. Who are they now? They're upholding the same patriarchy, capitalism, and white supremacy. They ain't shit but diet MAGA. They just MAGA with fucking MAGA without the crosses. Ain't shit but MAGA without the crosses. So this woman finds herself in a parking lot with one of those things we call a decent human being. So as a fucking decent human being, he's just expressing his fucking First Amendment. He got on a whole ass t-shirt that says fuck Trump. You know, because that motherfucker's a fucking sexual assaulter. That motherfucker ain't got no damn shame in his hate game. And just like her, she get all up in her feelings. She mad as fuck. Because she wants to defend her favorite sexual assaulter. That's the atheist. That y'all this hoe. Y'all this nasty ass bitch here. Literally just over the moon, ready to attack anyone and everyone, taking shots at your favorite secular assault, secular rarity, secular toss you down the stairs, just whatever the fuck y'all want to call this nigga. Elliot Martin. Oh, Elliot, we need to hear from you. Oh, Elliot, we need to hear from you. What the fuck is up, son? Y'all said Nancy said she lied. Nancy said put it on wax. Get it and notarized. Elliot, where you at? Where you at, bro? What, bro? Come clear it on up then. Come clear it on up then. Tell us it didn't happen. Tell us what did happen. But I heard Elliot said we should believe Nancy. So if Elliot said we should believe Nancy, and then Nancy wrote a 10-page notarized letter saying here's what happened, where is the fucking content?
My shirt's disgusting. I think a woman voting for a president that's a sexual abuser is disgusting. Do better. It's true.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
A woman not believing another woman is disgusting.
Oh, and then what they've been doing with this nigga Elliot. Let's platform him. Let's promote him. Let's elevate him. Let's brag every goddamn stream the nigga has touched in the last fucking year has been about community building. I'm dying if I'm lying. Y'all, does Elliot even talk about Christianity anymore? Does Elliot ever do counter apologetics? I swear to God, Elliot, every time Elliot Martin is on your screen in the atheist YouTube community, I promise you he's talking about community building and being celebrated for his secular leadership courses. I wish we were making this up. I literally wish this was a fucking fairy tale. I wish this was a delusion. I definitely feel like I'm for sure losing my goddamn mind. There's no way atheists who make a fucking niche for themselves, carved out their entire fucking YouTube existence, talking about Christianity and its lack of accountability and how harmful it is and how misogynist it is and how it hates women and how the leaders are never held accountable, like on and fucking on to the break of fucking dawn with these motherfuckers. Do y'all not understand that shit happens way over there? When you talking about the Christian church, this and the you're in a fucking community of atheists. Here's another delusion y'all need to wake up from. Christians don't watch any of our shit. There aren't any Christians in this community, not for real, for real. There's a couple dumbasses and trolls, but like, sure. Gear all your content towards them. That's a fucking real good decision. That Christian shit happens way over there, all the way on the other side of town. Nancy got thrown down the stairs and choked. Oh, did you hear that bang? Yeah, you heard it because it happened in your neighborhood. It happened in your backyard. A Christian body just hit the floor. Did you hear it? Boom. Another young child was just sexually assaulted by a pedo priest. Did you hear the body drop? Oh, great. Another pastor just forced one of his secretaries to give him a blowjob while he's cheating on his wife. Did you hear her drop to her knees? Oh, no, you didn't hear it? That's because it happened way the fuck over there on the other side of town. Oh,
hey,
did you
hear
hear that?
Your vote, lady.
Shit, my computer did. My fucking whole shit, my whole desk just fucking rattled. You know why? Because that shit happened here. Where the fuck is the content? Let's talk about how these dumbasses are MAGA and they literally use the same goddamn fucking tactics because they're stupid pieces of shit who don't give a fuck about the truth because this is a goddamn cult.
I've been wondering for years how the mega cult can argue against facts. Logic, and science the way they do. So I decided to do some research on the methods the Trump cult uses to argue against facts, logic, and science. Once you understand these arguments, they lose all their power in every conversation you have in the future. Here are the 5 tricks the Trump cult uses to try and exhaust you and make sure a real argument never happens. 1. The straw man. You point out that Trump started a war with Iran without going through Congress. Your MAGA friend responds and says you hate America.
My mods don't block everyone who needs to see this. My mods block flying monkeys. And try some flying monkey shit here. You'll be blocked faster than you can say. We don't want viewers. We don't give a fuck about numbers. We don't do this shit for clicks and likes. Our fucking friend was thrown down the fucking stairs and choked. Fuck around with me and find out how long you have the ability to fucking talk in this goddamn chat. Fuck around and find out. I ain't one of these fucking atheist cult bitches. You ain't gonna play in my face about my friend getting thrown down the fucking stairs and choked. You will find out quickly today. And yeah, we don't give a fuck about this community. We've departed from it. We're here to burn it down. We're here to shame it into finally facing itself and taking some goddamn accountability. We don't give a fuck. We're good. We're not gonna be at Nanocon. We don't want to be friends with any of these people. Me and my people are safe. We're fine. I'm chilling a long ways from Nanocon. None of my mods are going to be at fucking Nanocon. None of my friends are going to be at fucking Nanocon. So why don't you go find the fucking people who are all fucking hot under the goddamn collar looking forward to sexy, sexy time at Nanocon and talk to them about the behavior of their fucking mods. Matter of fact, I'm going to just block you myself. That way you don't even have to blame this one on my mods, you fucking idiot.
And want to see it destroyed. You never said that, but now you're defending your patriotism instead of talking about the war. Your original point is completely forgotten, and then they are nodding like they won the conversation. They argue against something you never said. This is called the straw man fallacy. They take your actual argument, replace it with something dumber and scarier, and argue against that fake version instead.
Yep. And I cannot tell you how many times that shit has happened, and the way that they use this basically as fear mongering. All the times we've been told we're attacking the community and we're trying to fucking destroy everybody and all this fucking bullshit. No, we're trying to talk about her getting tossed down the fucking stairs. Same fucking shit with all that goddamn transphobia bullshit. Tsunami very clearly called women out, said basically, what type of fucking women are you? She named all the fucking women who have been involved in disregarding what the fuck happened to Nancy. She named cis women, she named trans women. Instead of realizing Tsunami was saying, bitches, y'all need to fucking stand with your motherfucking sisters, because that's foundational girl code 101. What the fuck was said? Tsunami's a fucking transphobe. PC's a transphobe. Jay's a transphobe. Kyle's a transphobe. Patty's a transphobe. One person said that, and it wasn't even transphobic. Somehow the entire group of people who were just in her presence while she said it are also transphobes. And since it included cis women, they could no longer say they were transphobes because they were excluding trans women from a conversation about women, which would be by definition transphobia. Instead, they were including them in the group of all the women they were talking about. So instead, they just flipped it and said they're also misogynist. So since they called out the trans women, they were transphobes. And since they called out the cis women, they were also just now misogynist. And so now we could talk about how the misogynists and the transphobes took away the trans identity of these precious trans women who are now the fucking victims. And again, we don't have to have the fucking conversation about how their fucking homeboy tossed a woman down the stairs and choked her, and they're still defending him. And then at every fucking turn that we go, can we talk about the assault at Nanocon? We get the whataboutism. Well, what about the misogyny? Well, what about the transphobia? Well, what about Jay? Well, what about Tsunami? Straw man. Ain't nobody said nothing about none of that shit. And even if they did, that's not what we're here to fucking talk about. I don't give a fuck if someone insulted you. You're a fucking flying monkey. I hate to be the one to break this to you. That's how fucking society works. You do some fucked up shit, people say some fucked up shit to you. And you're lucky when they don't take it further than that. That's real life, motherfuckers. Grow the fuck up. I don't give a fuck who insulted you. My friend was thrown down the stairs and choked. How dare you ignore that and think I'm gonna be mad that somebody said some teased you? The fuck is wrong with y'all?
In 1960, psychologist Peter Wason at the University College London found that the brain does not look for truth. It looks for the fastest way to protect what it already believes. So their brain is not asking.
Yeah, there you go. Because it's a grift, Andrew. So fucking lame they even need a convention and speakers in the first place. Last I checked, Atheists are not an organization and have no quote unquote church. So why are they trying to be like they're religious? Because it's a fucking cult. And there's like a freaky sex group within the cult. You know, there's a cult within the cult. Again, this is just wild speculation. Wild speculation. I'm just throwing shit at the wall. It's definitely not based on the fucking years of being in this community and the months of dealing with this shit and all the freaky, nasty weirdo shit I done uncovered in the fucking process. Nah, y'all don't believe this, because again, this is just wild fucking speculation. But wouldn't it be crazy if it turned out that this whole thing happened was because there's some kind of fucking freaky kink cult sex group? The kink cult crew, we start calling them the KKK, the kink cult crew. Instead of the coon cult crew, you remember them? Remember them little boonies they used to hang out with? Now we're going to talk about the kink cult crew. Wouldn't it be crazy if this turned out that the kink cult crew is covering this up because they don't want the atheist con exposed? They don't want the atheist cult exposed, and they don't want the kink cult crew within the atheist cult exposed. Wouldn't that be some freaky weird shit, y'all? Wouldn't that be crazy? Oh, Elliot, we need to hear from you. What up, Kyle?
Right. Their brain is asking how to make you look wrong. You're questioning the Iran war? You're siding with the enemy. Bring up Trump's criminal conviction? You have TDS. Ask about deportations, the foreign prisons, and they'll claim you want open borders. They never argued with.
And then everybody's telling us they're attacking the community. They're trying to bring it all down. Well, yeah, actually, kind of now. I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. You kind of got us on that one. You got us on that one. But again, the point is, it didn't start there, and it didn't have. It never had to be that way. It was because y'all never wanted to deal with what happened. And I hate to say this, and this is what all y'all need to think about. If holding the people and organizations responsible for mishandling a terrible, violent assault destroys your community, what does it say about your community? And after you think about that, I want you to reflect on what it's done to our community. See, even though we have much greater proximity to the victim than y'all do, even though we're still in relationship with the victim's sister, and we have to walk this road, even though we've faced the fucking ugly reality of what really happened, even though we've made missteps and done things we regret and wish we handled things different and felt we showed up too late to the party and still to this day don't have the influence and the resources and all the things that we wish we had to really, really do so much more. Even though we've lost most of the friends out here in these social media spaces that we've built over the course of years, even though we've been ostracized, smear campaigned, had to deal with our own internal differences, been deplatformed, been called every name under the sun, been doxxed, all that shit. Over on this side of the tracks, our community's gotten stronger. We've gotten closer. We've learned much more about each other. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, we've had our disagreements, and we've had to just set those aside and keep grinding together. We've supported each other through different life transitions and trying to get our careers together and getting back in school and helping each other get different technology, like whatever it is everybody's needed. We're trying to meet each other. We've been supporting each other through relationship transitions and career transitions and moves and all sorts of shit. And we found joy and conversation and love and ways to spend time together. So that's the difference between a community where holding people accountable for violent crime will destroy community versus being part of the community left to put the pieces back together actually builds community. Now, which side of the fucking tracks are you on?
What anyone actually says. They just try to make sure that your argument never gets heard. 2. Whataboutism. You bring up Trump firing his attorney general. They say, what about Hillary's emails? You mentioned the Iran war started without Congress. They say, what about Biden? They never answer a single question because they know they can't answer it. This is called whataboutism. We are all very familiar with this one.
Again, what about Sumami? What about Jay? What about misogyny? What about transphobia? What about she was flirting? What about her husband? What about she said she forgave him before? What about she said at first she didn't want to press charges? What about they didn't she changed her mind later and she only pressed charges because her husband? What about the fact that there was an investigation and the investigation didn't go anywhere? Why do we have to talk about it? I mean, there's an investigation. The investigation didn't go anywhere. What about that? What about Elliot Martin threw Nancy down the stairs and choked her at last year's Nanocon? She also wrote a 10-page notarized letter addressed to the atheist YouTube community. What about that? Damn. Y'all don't realize you're literally fucking MAGA up in this bitch.
Instead of responding to your point, they drag a completely different issue into the conversation to make you forget what you were talking about. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman at Princeton University found that the brain can only track a limited number of ideas at the same time. The moment someone introduces a second problem, your brain splits its attention. Now, if you add a third and a fourth problem, your brain can't keep up and loses the original thread. They use whataboutism to exploit the brain's weakness on purpose. They do this because they saw other people do it, and it worked. It's not like they have some grand plan or anything. Every time they say what about, They're not making a point. They're running away from yours. Whataboutism is not a defense. It's a weak person's confession that they have no argument.
Oh.
3. Ad hominem attack.
Uh-oh.
You say Trump is breaking the law. They say you have Trump derangement syndrome and you hate America.
I'm telling you, y'all pay attention.
They're running away from yours. Whataboutism is not a defense. It's a weak person's confession that they have no argument. 3. Ad hominem attack. You say Trump is breaking the law. They say you have Trump derangement syndrome and you hate America.
Literally, we said Elliot Martin threw Nancy down the stairs and choked her. Well, what about Tsunami? Tsunami's a transphobe. Well, what about Kyle? Nobody likes Kyle. Well, what about PC? With PC, you were just up there while Jay and Tsunami were being transphobes with Kyle. Nobody can trust you anymore, PC. You got to go. Well, what about Patty? Well, Patty's just defending her sister because Patty has to defend her sister, and Patty wasn't there. And of course, oh my God, Jay. Oh my God. I have to tell you, like, the hardest part about everything we're going through, y'all, is looking myself in the mirror every day and recognizing that it's actually all my fault. I realize, I'm dying if I'm lying. I swear to you, both sides of this, well, to the extent that I don't know, somehow there are both sides of a thing like this. I don't know how that exists. Oh, I do. Oh, because this is a dumbass debate cult. And in dumbass debate cults, there has to be two sides of everything. Duh. Anyway, literally, this is my fault. Ask the flying monkeys. They'll be like, it's Jay's fault. Jay's attacking the community. Jay's divisive. Jay's using Nancy to make money. He's losing subs. He's losing subs, but somehow he's doing this to grow his channel and grift and make money. And then on the other side, people are like, well, yeah, I mean, we really wanted to support Nancy, and we're starting to realize what happened, and we read the letter, and it's all sorts of fucked up. But what about Jay? I really don't like the way Jay handled it, and I don't think Jay had to go about it like that. And why was Jay allowing Tsunami to be a transphobe? And why did Jay hang out with Kyle? Nobody likes Kyle. And why did Jay drag PC into this? And now we used to be friends with PC, but now her, Kyle, Tsunami, and Patty, they all joined the cult of Jay. And, you know, they're Jay's flying monkeys, and Jay's just sending them all over the fucking internet to misuse Nancy and Patty's lies. Jay. And I'm like, damn. I'm really responsible. It's crazy. It's like on one hand, I have to like weep for my friend and what happened to my friend when this white man threw her down the stairs, choked her, and then that white man got elevated. And then at the same time, I have to take responsibility for the fact that it's really all my fault. And actually, maybe I'm really the one who threw her down the stairs and choked her. And then I just magically did my internet computer hacker magic, and then I just made it look like it was Elliot. And then I tricked Nancy, right? Because I went into my computer fucking hacker magic, and I implanted like a fucking chip in her brain through her cell phone. She didn't even know, but I sent it through the fucking audio waves because I got the secret fucking hacker sauce over here, right? And then I tricked her. I made her think it was Elliot. And then when she fucking remembered the shit and she fucking made the statement and she complained to the police and she fucking wrote the letter and she was, you know, inspected by the doctor and all that shit, she blamed it on Elliot Martin, but it was actually me who threw her down the stairs and choked her, even though I was never at Nanocon and I've never been to fucking Nashville. But that's, you know, don't believe me. I'm telling you, it's actually my fault. I really did it. They're MAGA, dude. That's them. That's literally them. Like, they're literally ad hominem. Whataboutism, shifting the goalpost, ad hominem. Like, yo, this is a cult. It's a MAGA fucking cult with a fucking atheist branding. I'm just telling you.
Trump is still breaking the law, but now the conversation is about whether you are crazy instead of what Trump actually did. This is called an ad hominem attack.
Appreciate you, Michael.
They are just insulting you instead of answering any questions.
But
The goal is to
worked at a
destroy your
Catholic
credibility before your
university.
argument even gets evaluated.
I love it, Mike.
Psychologist Robert Cialdini at Arizona University found that people do not evaluate arguments in a vacuum. We decide whether to listen based on who is talking. Ad hominem makes the audience question whether you are even worth listening to before they engage with what you said. When they cannot argue facts, they come after you instead. And the moment you start defending yourself, the argument is over and they win. 4. The slippery slope fallacy. You say the government should not be able to deport American citizens without due process. They say you want to let criminals pour into the country. You said nothing about criminals, but now...
Again, we were like, hey, maybe we should do something about the fact that Elliot threw Nancy down the stairs. You're attacking all of us. You want to destroy the community. You hate women. Ember was nearly stabbed to death and you don't care about her. She had a baby. Ember had a baby and Jay, you had nothing to say. You don't care when women are actually brutally attacked and almost killed. Actually, I was kind of just saying that I heard Elliot threw Nancy down the stairs and choked her. And so I was kind of just thinking, I don't know, maybe we should deal with that. Well, you actually hate atheists and you're turning this into a cult. And then you went and you took a whole crew of women who were former survivors and you whipped them up with your magic secret sauce. And now they're all strung out and you're using them to manipulate all of us so that you can destroy the community because you hate atheism. I was kind of just thinking, maybe we could talk about right, like, yo, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. It's like I was like, can we talk about this letter? You're trying to drop a nuclear bomb on all of America. Whoa. Like again, if trying to talk about the most violent incident that anybody can remember ever happening at an atheist event is somehow deploying the nuclear option on the entire YouTube atheist community, what does that say about the entire atheist YouTube community?
Everyone is arguing about something you never brought up. This is called the slippery slope fallacy. They take one reasonable idea and claim it will automatically lead to
Closet
the most extreme
Republicans.
outcome imaginable. No evidence, no logical steps. They're just creating fear. Psychologist Paul Ekman at the University of California, San Francisco, found that fear overrides rational thinking faster than any other emotion.
And the shit works, y'all. The shit works. How do we know the shit works? Crazy, right? This is what I mean when I say the flying monkeys are still winning. You see, you may recognize the tactics, you might recognize what they did, but it's still working. Because everybody's still afraid to speak out about it. They don't want to be the next victims of the smear campaign. They don't want to be the next people to be attacked by the flying monkeys. They don't want to be the next people to be deplatformed. They don't want to be the next people to lose their wrenches. They don't want to be the next people to be ostracized. They don't want everybody talking about them the way they're talking about us. They don't want to be accused of being divisive in the community. They don't want to start the drama. They just want to stay out of it. They just want to stay neutral. They are fucking scared. And so people who spend all their fucking free time, I'm fucking King Kong on YouTube talking all types of smack about how boss and badass they are and their activism and their justice and their fucking warriors for atheism and secular community building heroes and all that type of shit. And then some real shit pops up. Bodies are dropping in their backyard. And they have nothing to say, y'all. Scared into silence. What did we used to call them in the church, y'all? What we used to call them in the church, y'all? The frozen chosen. The motherfucking frozen chosen. And now we are dealing with the same exact phenomena over here in atheism. The frozen chosen. All the right answers, but they ain't doing shit. All like just like they was in the church. They wasn't sinning and they was righteous. They wasn't doing a goddamn thing for nobody in the world, but they had their noses all the way up in the air because they were so fucking righteous and pure. And now they over here doing the same goddamn shit. All with they nose all up in the air. They're so righteous. They're so moral. They're secular humanists. They stand up for women. They're against violence against women. Yeah. When it's happening all the way over there on the other side of motherfucking town. But when the shit really happens right here, y'all are motherfucking useless. Motherfucking useless.
Once your brain perceives a threat, it stops evaluating evidence and starts looking for an exit. The slippery slope is designed to trigger the fear response before your brain can ask whether the threat is even real. Scare people enough and they stop thinking. And people who stop thinking are easy to control. Just ask Fox News and Newsmax. 5. The burden of proof flip. Charlie Kirk built his entire career on this trick. He would show up to college campuses, make wild claims with no evidence, and demand that students disprove him on the spot. When students couldn't disprove him, Kirk declared victory and forced the student to give up the mic. He called it owning the libs. It was not a real debate. It was an ambush on unprepared kids. This is called the burden of proof flip. The person making the claim is always responsible for proving the claim, but Kirk and every conservative like him make wild claims with no evidence and then demand that you disprove those claims.
And again, same fucking shit. Same fucking shit. We've been documenting the same consistent fucking story from day fucking one. And the same motherfuckers who preach safety and leadership and feminism and secular humanism and believe women and believe women and believe women and believe women. When an actual woman comes forward and says, this is what the fuck happened all of a sudden. It's on her to fucking call the cops. It's on her to press charges. It's on her to pursue an investigation with the organizations. It's on her to call it out. And then when her sister is fucking carrying it forward, they literally throw it in her sister's face and say, you don't have her permission to tell her story. You can't say this, any of this on her behalf. We need to hear it from her. 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 Then she writes a 10-page notarized letter addressed directly to you in the atheist YouTube community. And then the letter's fake. It isn't really her words. Well, now we need her to show up. Why doesn't she show up and tell us what happened? Meanwhile, they said there was video evidence that it didn't happen. She said in her letter there was no video evidence. They said there was video evidence that it didn't happen. Where's their video evidence? They said we had no receipts. We made 15 plus hours of content showing nothing but receipts. They said the content was too long. We showed too many receipts. And why should they believe us anyway? Because Sumami's a transphobe. Then they said they had receipts to prove Nancy and Patty were lying. Where are the fucking receipts? Where are they? Where's your video fucking proof that it didn't happen? And where the fuck is Elliot? Last we heard, Elliot said, believe Nancy. Nancy said Elliot threw her down the stairs and choked her. Y'all said Nancy and Patty are lying. But Elliot said, believe Nancy. Where the fuck is Elliot?
Crazy, right? And here's why you can never win. You show them a court ruling, they claim the judge is corrupt. You show them a
What up,
study,
Trees?
the science is corrupt. You show them a news report, the
Hey,
outlet
Patty.
is fake news. Every piece of evidence you bring just
B. Paulie B, bro. Paulie B, you're being recruited. Paulie B, you're being motherfucking recruited. Paulie B, you are being motherfucking recruited. We need Uncle Bobby on the case. We need Uncle Bobby on the case. I said we fucking need Uncle Bobby on the case. We have a goddamn women's self-defense instructor up in this bitch. We need the education. We want to start doing some online YouTube self-defense classes for women so they can learn a couple of them basic fighting techniques, because apparently yo ass needs to learn how to fight before it's safe to go to fucking Nanocon. And we need him fucking talking to us about the motherfucking abusive relationship dynamics and the power dynamics and the fucking trauma responses of victims. Paulie B, we need you to get Uncle Bobby on the case. Tell him to reach out to me. Tell him I've been trying to get in touch with him. Tell him we're trying. We need him on the case. We got to take a break from the Christians real quick. Because again, yes, the Christians are fucking it all the way up, but they're fucking it all the way up way over there on the other side of town. We got to deal with the shit that is going on in our backyard. SR, Secular Rarity, Elliot Martin at last year's Nanocon 2025, on or about July 27th, whenever that happened. It was the fucking middle of goddamn Nanocon. It was the night before the last day. Threw her down the stairs and choked her in a sexual assault. He also exposed her. He exposed himself. He said all sorts of verbally abusive and crazy things to her. And the entire atheist community is acting all like, well, we saw them flirting and maybe making out or whatever the fuck beforehand. And so based on what we all saw in the fucking lobby, well before any of this happened, there's no way that's a true story because everything was consensual. And then, he should not have had access to her. Nobody called the police. Nobody removed him from the event. Nobody followed up to make sure that he wasn't having contact with her or he wasn't having influence her. They tried to handle it through some sort of fucked up ass internal investigation, even though there's a clear conflict of interest, given that he's one of the conference organizers and was one of the main hosts and like people at the goddamn conference. It was all held in a fucking state park where there is no real fucking police department responding to things like this. Like, this shit reeks from the rooter to the motherfucking tutor, and they're about to kick off the goddamn next Nanocon in 104 days, and no one in the atheist community will say anything about it because this is a rotted ass cult, because it is a fake, rotted cult. It is capitalism, white supremacy, and fucking patriarchy. That is all this fucking is. It is the unqualified, fail-safe space for unqualified white dudes who went from knowing a goddamn thing about the world other than the goddamn Bible to knowing not a goddamn thing about the world other than not Bible. So when real shit happens, the people whose entire fucking personality is calling out Christians and calling out religious groups for a lack of accountability, for the harm they cause to people, for their misogyny, for all that fucking bullshit, fuck all that. These people are fake, and they've been lying to you the whole time, because when the shit happens in an atheist organization, what is the response? This happened almost a year ago. Check out the links in the description. There's a link to Nancy's statement. It's a 10-page notarized PDF. It is searchable. There is a link to Patty, the other Apostate Sisters YouTube video reading the letter. There's a link to my playlist about what happened. There's a link to Pragmatic Crystal's playlist about what happened. We need people to email, phone call, get in the Discords, whatever you got to do to reach out to these other content creators to let them know this fucking happened. It's been almost a year. They're getting ready to do it again, and no one will say anything. Where is the fucking content? Oh my goodness. All right, hang on. Let me get my shit back together because I fucking switched tabs. All right. What do we need to do? Hang on. Here we go.
It's added to the conspiracy. There's no evidence they will accept because accepting evidence was never part of the deal. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman found that once someone believes something, their brain treats every piece of supporting evidence as proof, and every piece of contradicting evidence as part of the cover-up or conspiracy. Kirk was never really debating anyone. He was running a scam. In a real debate, the person making the claim has to prove their claim to be true. Kirk never proved anything.
We're talking about...
He just demanded you disprove him and called it a win when you couldn't.
I said it's the atheist YouTube community, and people know what I'm referring to. But yeah, I mean, look, whatever. I don't know you, so I don't know who you follow. I don't know what communities you're a part of or whatever. Listen, I'm gonna just keep it real with you. Your favorite atheist content creators and the organizations, they know this shit happened. And they don't give a fuck. Like I'm just here to tell you that. Like this is a community level failure, and it kind of is really most of the atheist online community. If they're not part of it, like at least at this point they're bystanders and they're complicit in their silence. I'm not saying I'm an atheist. I'm not throwing atheism under the bus, but there's a rot in this atheist community, and if you're not a part of that, that's cool. Then like us, you're not a part of it. We're not a part of it anymore. We were, and we've lost a lot of friends in this. But yeah, if you're just new to the community, then get out. You know what I mean? Like make some friends. I guess if you really enjoy atheist online YouTube content, then enjoy the content. But most of the people making that content are problematic.
That is not a debate. That is a weak scam and only worked on kids who are under 20 years old. Most of these people have no idea what they're actually saying. They saw it on TikTok or they heard it on Fox News. They repeated
I don't think he's personally supporting the organization he started is one of the sponsors. He was one of the big hosts last year. I think people are quietly just trying to distance themselves from him, or at least publicly, and which is another problem because it's basically like just trying to let him slip out the back door unaccountable because they don't want to be held accountable. So they just want to kind of let him slip out the back door. And then they're like, well, we don't have anything to do with him anymore. But we know that they know. And again, we've documented our various people's efforts to make sure they know. And so, you know, when they pretend that they didn't know, we'll be right back to remind people that they did know. And we'll be right back to show you proof that we know they knew. So, you know, stay tuned in for that.
to you and called it an argument. They're not actually trying to win a debate. They're trying to feel superior.
But yeah, I think he's a fucking drug dealer. I don't know. Word on the street, right? What do I know about these people? But word on the street is he sells dope. He sells, I'm not fucking around. I think he sells weed. He's a punk ass little bitch. Y'all know I smoke too, but I'm throwing that nigga all the way on the bus. Fuck Elliot, bro. I don't give a shit. Little fucking weed dealing ass loser. Get a real job.
And they are secretly intimidated by. That is all owning the libs ever was. Deeply insecure people using borrowed tricks to feel powerful for 5 minutes. Now that you know these tricks, you'll never have to fall for them again. They're what weak people use to try and trick smart people into arguing. When you're not smart enough to win a real argument, you kind of have to trick people.
And yeah, that's very true. And that's why, like, it's really funny. Like, again, it's a cult, bro. And they play people. And part of the way that they play people is they literally play in your face about community, 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 community. But they're not part of the community. People's favorite content creators, the ones whose booty hole they lick, think about it like this way. You're part of the fucking community. But you have a life, right? And so you have to like do your shit. You got to do your job, like your family, like all the IRL shit you got to do, right? And then you also, you know, like YouTube, that's your thing. You like to consume content on YouTube. So then when you go to YouTube, you've got some time and you could like watch anything you fucking want, right? And there's probably a lot of different niches and a lot of different interests and a lot of things that you're into, right? So you could like, be watching some fun shit or some interesting shit or some shit related to one of your fucking hobbies, right? But no, you want to stay fucking connected to the atheosphere on YouTube, or you want to stay connected to your secular buddies or whatever the fuck, right? So you go out of your way to fucking make time for that shit, not just to watch the content, but to like go in the chats or maybe go into Discords, maybe get to know some people, maybe check in on some of your friends, maybe show support to some streams and catch up on some shit, right? But think about the motherfuckers you're watching. They do this shit for a living. Being an atheist YouTuber is their motherfucking full-time job. But do you ever catch them in the comments of a live stream? Do you see him really getting in the comments and going back and forth with viewers and shit on channels that aren't theirs? No, they use that whole community shit to just build themselves up as influencers so that there are people you will pay to see and you will travel and pay for conferences to watch them speak. And you're elevating them based on their strong community branding, not their strong community building. Catch the difference? Not strong community building, strong community branding. They don't really participate in the community. They use the community to get paid. And then on top of that shit, when some real shit pops off in the community, where the fuck is the content? All right, we rocked with her last night. Her shit's great. Go back and check out the streams we did. They're fucking awesome. But yeah, now we're going to talk about, this is called Why Men Side with the Worst Person in the Room. And so we're going to talk about how this works in like the atheist community and why pretty much all the men and of course most of the women, because most of the women are fucking pick-me's, have sided with the evil, basically Elliot Martin, the most violent fucking assaulter in the like any of these fucking YouTube fucking events. And the answer is patriarchy and misogyny, just in case you wanted the cliff notes.
Can I tell you an honest truth? I love Breaking Bad. Obviously, everyone in the whole world loved it. I wanted to kill Skyler to make your life easier. Your life would have been so much easier.
Let me say,
You were such a bad guy. You could have just gotten rid of her.
I know.
All she did was complain. Look
now,
at the money.
now, see, she got a lot of blowback from that.
Oh, really?
Well, first of all, Anna Gunn is a superb
Yeah.
actor, but she got like, oh, why don't you get off his back? Why don't you-"
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Wait a minute, let me understand this. Her husband leaves without any explanation. She's-
Why are y'all are no. People are trying to make this shit way too fucking narrow. Matt Dillahunty, The Line with like fucking Seth Andrews and all these motherfuckers. Go to the fucking Nanocon website. Hemant Mehta, the friendly atheist, speaker at this year's Nanocon. Monte Mater. Wake the fuck up, y'all. Wake the fuck up. You have The Line during their holiday show. You had fucking Arden Hart and Dr. Ben. Dr. Ben's like best friends with Elliot Martin. Yep. Takis. Yep. Yeah, that Dr. Ben. Best friends with Elliot. Arden Hart and Dr. Ben piling on the victim on fucking Facebook. Justin from Deconstruction Zone, contacted by Patty months ago. The atheist community of Austin, recovering from look at the fucking sponsors of this year's Nanocon. Polaris Financial, the American Humanist Association, the American Atheist, Godless Engineer, Black Nonbelievers, the Humanists of Tennessee, the Atheist Community of Austin, Secularizing U.S., Recovering from Religion, the Secular Student Alliance, the Clergy Project, Americans United for Separation of Church and State. Come on, y'all. Man, waking up is hard to do.
Pregnant.
Yeah.
He's making crystal methamphetamine, and people have died, and she's the bitch. It's like, he couldn't understand.
When you put it that way, I guess.
So it's almost like at the end of the day that media and even our reaction to it can and does serve as a litmus test for whether one hates women or not. And the problem is that not only do a lot of men hate women, but they're also just in general attracted to violence, injustice, and degeneracy. Welcome to my TED Talk. Well, when you put it like that.
And again, it's going to be very interesting when y'all start to peel back the layers of all the sexy time at Nanocon. Because I can tell you from day one, the flying monkey response that has covered all this up, the active cover up that the atheist YouTube community is participating in. And I don't have fucking time to sit here and draw y'all 100 fucking disclaimers and fucking qualifiers to appropriately narrow it to exclude the people you think I should be fucking excluding when the shit is this far widespread. I'm sorry. I speak from my perspective. From where I sit and look around, the atheist YouTube community is fucked up. If you know some people that aren't a part of that fucked upness, good for them. This is a systematic problem. This shit is way beyond systemic at this point. And this isn't the first time. It's been happening for years. There are many other incidents actually involving far more popular and influential fucking men in this field. Lawrence Krauss, Richard Carrier, Jimmy Snow. I know Jimmy Snow's reformed. Lots of men are reformed. But just saying, this is not some new shit. And again, I'm not trying to throw all those people under the bus. I'm trying to keep this about Elliot Martin. But let's not sit here and pretend this isn't a systemic problem. And what you're going to find out eventually, maybe years from now, is that part of the reason all this got fucked all the way up is because there's a sexy time crew within the atheist cult, within the fake ass, phony ass, fake shit, faking in the morning, faking in the evening, faking at supper time. With Atheist on YouTube, you can have faking anytime. With all these fake ass motherfuckers, you're gonna find out that not only is there's this whole fucking atheist online cult thing, fake as shit, that within that there's an inner cult, some kind of let's just call it the kink cult crew. Okay. And this kink cult crew is all about the kinky shit and, sexual revolution or whatever the fuck they're trying to do. And they're doing a whole lot of grooming. It's actually to the point that apparently some people go to these atheist conventions and people are like propositioning them with all sorts of weird shit and they just dip up out of there. They're just like, yo, I came here, I thought we were going to do one thing and I came up in here and y'all are on that eyes wide shut tip. And it's a little not the vibe I came here for. And then you have other motherfuckers who literally, I'm just telling y'all from day one, when this story got out there, the immediate narrative was about kink and doms and failed BDSM and consensual non-consent culture and all that. So when we start to really deconstruct what happened to that victim and we start looking at all the patterns that were happening before the conference and all the patterns that were happening since, yeah, you're going to realize what the fuck she's talking about. That it's beyond just thinking about the fact that these people are unsafe, should not be organizing conferences, have no clue what the fuck they're doing, but they are just generally into some weird ass shit. So if you put together unsafe culture, no safety training, no real external safety protocols, nobody calls the cops, nobody handles these things, with the fact that there's no structure in place and all these people just want to be motivated to just run around unrestricted playing grab ass. And then on top of that, there's all this fucking talk. And then as soon as some real fucking violent assault happens, all of a sudden everybody weaponizes an apparent underground culture in this community of consensual non-consent. And we're told, no. That was actually consensual non-consent play gone wrong. Now, if you don't want to make the connection between, I just told you a woman was thrown down the stairs and choked at an atheist conference, and when we came to that said atheist conference and we said, hey, we heard a woman was thrown down the stairs and choked, and they said, no, shut the fuck up. You can't say anything about that. That was just consensual non-consent gone wrong. And yeah, we're all in a kink group and we're into that. Yeah, I think you need to just sit with that for a minute.
Yeah, how else was he supposed to put it? Mind you, that's how the show put it. Mind you, Bryan Cranston didn't even mention half the shit that Walter White actually did. If you're like me and you love media and the discussion of it in general, then you already know that a lot of shows, movies, and fan bases do not treat male and female characters equally at all. Let me put it to you another way. How do you think men would react to the same story if everything that Walter White did was done by a woman? Like if you actually flipped Skylar and Walter, how do you think men would feel? Would they all of a sudden idolize violence and murder and criminal activity?
Exactly. And this is the fucking thing too. Like, which cultures of men are allowed to do this shit? Like, it is so amazing to me, especially because I'm a black man, right? And yes, I recognize black communities have their issues, mostly as a result of institutional and structural racism. But anyway, I notice how those elements are always demonized. To be a black thug is bad. To be a gangster is bad. To be a corner boy is bad. You're afraid. You're afraid. You're afraid. Yes, white libs, I'm talking to you. You're afraid to even drive through black communities because you are so concerned about the violence, some strange black people who don't even know you. Black people are just so inherently thuggish that if white people just fucking drive through our fucking neighborhoods, we all just fucking leap out our fucking windows to attack them. Like, we're just chilling at home, doing black people shit, smoking blunts, eating fried chicken and watermelon, drinking fucking Kool-Aid, right? Because that's all we fucking do, right? And then all of a sudden, like, there's a fucking your black phone goes off. All black people have a phone. that white people don't have. Y'all don't know about that? It's called the black phone. Yeah, and when some real shit goes down in the hood, like they hit us on the black phone. So they hit us on the black phone, and they're like, there's white people rolling through Central, and then we just fucking Superman it out the fucking window. You know what I'm saying? We just Superman it out the window, and then as we're Supermaning it out the window, we throw on our fucking gangster shit, and we like strap up, and then we just start firing at white people's cars just because they just drove through. They just drove through the wrong neighborhood. So black people we just like a swarm of fucking monkeys, right? Meanwhile, white boys are just like itching, just itching to get out of class so they can go play some fucking Call of Duty. Just fucking itching, right? Every fucking movie they like is fucking violent and gory. They love the movies of the anti-heroes where clearly some fucking psychotic psychopath is all of a sudden the hero, and he's got a justified reason to just go fucking Rambo on a whole bunch of motherfuckers. Men don't even show a man a movie about a man who like talks about his feelings and like works out his struggles in life through dialogue and conflict resolution. Can you imagine? Can you fucking imagine? So again, white boys are allowed to just glorify the worst shit openly and then treat everybody else like they're a fucking menace to society. The shit never ceases to fucking amaze me. And this is the same thing here. Imagine if Nancy threw Elliot's little ass down the fucking stairs and choked him all the way out of here. And then the women in the community kept platforming Nancy and being like, fuck Elliot Martin. Have you taken Nancy's fucking secular leadership courses, right? Can you imagine? These atheist fucking communities would be burning her shit to the ground. But we're going to rewind this real quick because I actually want to make an even bigger point. And we're going to, I love her. We're good. What are we, like 2 minutes in? Oh, hell yeah. We're going back. Listen to this shit because I've been kind of jumping in a lot. I'm not going to jump in for a minute. I'm going to just let it roll for a minute. And then we going to really get into this shit for real. Love y'all. Let's do this.
Can I tell you an honest truth? I love Breaking Bad. Obviously, everyone in the whole world loved it. I wanted to kill Skylar to make your life easier. Your life would have been so much easier.
Well, let me say,
You were such a bad guy. You could have just gotten rid of her.
I know.
All she did was complain. Look at the money.
Now, see, she got a lot of blowback from that.
Oh, really?
Well, first of all, Anna Gunn is a superb
Yeah.
actor, but she got like, oh, why don't you get off his back?
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Wait a minute, let me understand this. Her husband leaves without any explanation. She's pregnant.
Yeah.
He's making crystal methamphetamine, and people have died, and she's the bitch. It's like, he couldn't understand.
When you put it that way, I guess.
So it's almost like at the end of the day that media and even our reaction to it can and does serve as a litmus test for whether one hates women or not. And the problem is that not only do a lot of men hate women, but they're also just in general attracted to violence, injustice, and degeneracy. Welcome to my TED Talk. Well, when you put it like that, yeah, how else was he supposed to put it? Mind you, that's how the show put it. Mind you, Bryan Cranston didn't even mention half the shit that Walter White actually did. If you're like me and you love media and the discussion of it in general, then you already know that a lot of shows, movies, and fan bases do not treat male and female characters equally at all.
All right, so we'll pause there. Now, let me tell you how that relates to all this. Think about this. Elliot and Nancy were both popular YouTube atheist content creators. Nancy's one half of the Apostate Sisters, doing a lot of dope, great shit. But they're also very accomplished, sophisticated fucking women with like a lot to offer, not just in terms of their deconversion, but in terms of their actual sharpness in real world expertise and skills. Elliot Martin is like grungy, kind of loser, dim-witted dork, right? But he's like friendly and smiley, and for some reason, these psychopathic pick-me's think he's cute. There's no accounting for taste. And so they go into this conference and he throws her down the stairs. He exposes her. He exposes himself to her. He violates her consent repeatedly. He chokes her. Okay. And again, he's got a history. There's a pattern in the community and history, these things happening. But just like that guy sat up there and said, I wanted to kill Skylar for you. God damn it. She was just getting in your motherfucking way, my guy. And you were on a fucking tear. You were doing your goddamn thing, man. You just broke bad, man. And we're all with it. We all love it. We're all here for it, man. And this dumbass wife bitch just is fucking your shit all the way up. And then even the guy, the fucking actor, because he knows the goddamn difference between the character he played on motherfucking television and a social commentary about that dynamic, is going, did you I know I'm the protagonist, but did you forget that I'm actually the bad guy in the fucking story? Like, did you forget that I stepped out on my wife and raped her and fucking was selling meth and killing people? But he wanted to get rid of the wife. Just like when Nancy was thrown down the stairs and Nancy was choked and Nancy was sexually assaulted, they wanted to get rid of Nancy. Nancy was the problem. She wanted it. When that didn't work, well, she was the one. She didn't want it reported. She didn't make the call. Why didn't her sister do it? She told us it was okay to continue to platform him. And then when she stepped away, it was because of her husband. Nobody has permission to tell her story. We want to hear from her. And then when they hear from her, she's lying. When she writes a letter, the letter's fake. And the same people, this motherfucker right here, this human waste of a perfectly good, oh, hang on, we got the wrong tab. Hang on, we got the wrong tape. This person right here, this human waste of a perfectly good ejaculate, AJ Ruley, sent her a message that said, I hope you're hurting. Contacted her spouse and told her spouse that she likes to be raped by strangers. And she's one of the featured speakers at this year's Nanocon. We called out Matt Dillahunty's partner for dogpiling on her and doing victim blaming in the Facebook thread. He refused to acknowledge what happened. He called it drama, defended the honor of Arden Hart because apparently she's no longer an OnlyFans model, and we got the wrong Arden Hart in terms of her being a dark romance author. But he, on a New Year's stream on the line, decided to laugh with a bunch of other atheist YouTube celebrities and have a good chuckle about it and call it drama. It's another one of the flying monkeys, Gail Jordan. Another one over here, Glenda Jordan. This is what it is. This is where we're at. This is the reality. Like I said, I wish this wasn't happening, but it is. And now they say the letter's fake or the letter's not good enough because now she needs to show up and clear up the details personally in person. Bar just keeps getting higher. Her sister was threatened. Hey, Patty. Yeah, no more of this, Patty. No more talk of what happened to your sister, Patty. We're not going to allow that. It's time for you to leave the atheist community. They basically told her you can't keep doing this, the channel without your sister. It's time you say goodbye to the atheist YouTube space and make your channel about something else. Been nice knowing you. When a group of survivors got together and said their story's not adding up, it's not making sense. And then I reached out to Patty. We figured out what was going on, and the group of survivors got together and became the whistleblowers and said, "Hey, atheist YouTube community, y'all need to pay the fuck attention to this. This happened, and the community did not handle it correctly. We're just here to say this happened. The community didn't handle it correctly. Let's get on this. Let's make sure this doesn't happen again. Let's clean this sloppy shit up. There's some sloppy ass shit. Let's clean it up." Nope. Instead, same flying monkeys and same organizations led a smear campaign against me and the whistleblowers and the victim's sister. We were literally deplatformed. We were attacked. We were called every name under the sun. And to this day, we are still being blamed for trying to destroy the atheist YouTube community, and no one will say a word about the assault at Nanocon.
Let me put it to you another way. How do you think men would react to the same story if everything that Walter White did was done by a woman? Like if you actually flipped Skylar and Walter, how do you think men would feel? Would they all of a sudden idolize violence and murder and criminal activity if it was being done by a woman? What if she was also sexually assaulting her husband while she was doing it so that she could feel even more powerful? What if he woke up to her one morning just literally graping his back door entrance? Because that's what Walt did to Skylar. Let me just ask you, how do you think we would fucking react to that as a society, men included? Mind you, they put this in the show early enough to let you know that this is his character.
Yep.
He was always a power-hungry tyrant.
And it's okay. It's okay. It's celebrated. It's literally celebrated. It's awesome. It's awesome when white guys do it. When black people do it, holy shit. It reveals that their culture as human beings is literally so fundamentally violent and brutish. They're such savages that you literally can't even drive through a black neighborhood. Like, think about that. That shit worked on you. They literally made you believe that black people were just so ruthlessly violent. Again, they were just going to see a white person driving through the wrong part of town. They would just Superman it right on out the window just to attack you. So you don't even drive through the black part of town. You'll take the fucking scenic route. Oh, you'll take the long way home. Right? Because you ain't going through the black neighborhood. Okay? But you'll cozy right on up to them white boys.
Was never a good guy because a good guy would not do that to his wife. She did not like it. She told him to stop multiple times, and he raped her to completion. And you wanted to kill her, and men are our protectors? So yeah, I just want you to picture it like with the roles reversed. Mind you, the whole time, Skylar White is just reacting as a
You're getting shit on because you're, I don't know, you just need some time to think, maybe. I don't know why people think like y'all, the fucking weaponized whiteness. Hey, angry black man, you might want to check the misogyny in your own followers group. I'm trying to hear you out and learn more. I'm getting shit on. Like, if you're trying to learn more, then shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and learn what the fuck is going on and stop acting like a goddamn flying monkey. Because the next time you say some dumb shit, I'm gonna just block you. Why are people worried about my goddamn mods? I will. Do y'all not? The only reason I don't block people quickly is because I'm trying to do the goddamn broadcast. Y'all don't know. People don't. Y'all do y'all know? Y'all don't even see me with wrenches in the motherfucking community out here. Do you know why people don't give me wrenches? Motherfuckers don't trust me with wrenches. I swear to y'all, motherfuckers do not trust me with wrenches. Why? Because I will time you out for fucking breathing wrong, and I will block you because I just hadn't hit the block button in a while. Motherfuckers literally won't give me wrenches because they're like, no, that's a bad idea. I'm insulted when people come through my fucking chat worried about my goddamn mods. I tell my mods all the time motherfuckers out. Block these motherfuckers. If you think you have a good reason to block somebody, they gave one of my mods a good reason to block their ass. I block people with the motherfucking swiftness. I be insulted y'all be coming in here worried about the goddamn mods. I gotta start blocking more people. People are afraid of goddamn mods.
Normal person would. There's absolutely nothing abnormal about her reaction to anything that she finds out about Walter. She should have had more of a reaction. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, her husband has become a secretive, manipulative, violent criminal. And she's supposed to let him in the house to be around her kids and everything like that. Let alone let him in her house after he raped her. There's nothing unjustified.
But y'all, this is what's so crazy is like this community literally wanted to get rid of Nancy. Listen, I just gave y'all all a gift. You can literally just go back. I just gave you a fucking out of class homework assignment. Go back for extra credit, gang. Go back and watch Breaking Bad and just remember that Walter is Elliot and Skylar is Nancy. Like, it's just fucking crazy. Like, he throws her down the stairs and chokes her. The community is like, fuck that bitch. Let's get rid of her, her sister, the whistleblower, and dogpile on anybody that will literally say her name. She is fucking Voldemort up in this bitch. Let's fucking elevate him. Let's make next year's NanoCon the biggest, baddest, bestest NanoCon ever. And by the way, have you signed up for Elliot Martin's secular leadership classes? I'm like, whoa. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be all the way consistent right now, y'all. I'm gonna be so for real. It's good. We're having a mode break. Let's hit the vape one time. All right, real talk, y'all. Yo, this now part of my therapy right now, right? Like, I got a lot of shit I got to deal with in therapy. I got to deal with the fucking bipolar, and then I learned about the narcissism because of my ex. See some other streams where I talk about that shit. That's what actually got me to start therapy, and now I'm about to get back into therapy, and so I got to deal with that. And then when I started to learn about that, I had to realize that the whole religious trauma shit with my family was never really going to work out because that means they're too steeped in the collective religious narcissism. So then that fractured because it's like triggering the whole relationship thing, really triggered the whole family thing. And then I don't talk to my family like that. So I got to deal with that, right? But now what I was talking to my psychiatrist about yesterday, and I got to do it more in therapy, is the fact that I ended up in this fucked up ass community. And I'm like, Doc, I did it again. I got hoodwinked again. I got hoodwinked by another fucking cult of collective narcissists. And they threw my fucking friend down the stairs and choked her, and nobody will say shit about it. I ended up in another fucking cult. Oh my God. Why does this keep happening to me? So trust me, y'all, this ain't no arrogance around this part of town. No. I'm all the way disappointed in Dr. Bundy. I'm all the way disappointed. Now, I'm not unhappy about it because, again, I met my friends here. This is where we live on the YouTubes. I just wish I didn't kind of bite on a lot of the parasocial cult bullshit. But this is where I met my friends. This is where we live, so we all right. But damn, Yeah, y'all. No, this is some real shit for me. Like, I'm really learning through all of this. Like, yo, this community. When I said this community is rotted to the core, I told y'all just like I told my psychiatrist. Look, when you arrive in a situation, bing, 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 you get a little snapshot. You get a snapshot because you take in all the information when you showed up as of the day you showed up. So your day zero, you just get that day zero snapshot for you. Bing, 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 bing. What does it look like right now, right? And from the instant we was like, oh yeah, this is a total community level failure. Like everything about this is wrong. So then I was like, yo, this community is rotten to the core. That's why the playlist is named "This Community is Rotten to the Core." Because I knew that from the beginning. Because I boop, 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 saw the snapshot, right? But now that it's been fucking months of dealing with this shit, and I see the layers and layers and layers and layers, like just the most recent thing, obviously, was the call in to to Skeptic Haven, where like we had the magical fucking serious, great, wonderful, beautiful conversation go up. And then as soon as I wanted to talk about Nancy, they kicked us off the fucking show. And like that was the end of that because they're actively literally covering it up while the person who threatened her, they're like bigging up their super chats, and literally all the flying monkeys that are doing the cover up shit are all hanging out in the chat, and they're literally promoting Nanocon. And it's just like, oh my god, I did it. Oh my god, I fell for it. Oh my god, I let a toxic ass community, a collective narcissist, turn my life upside down again. Oh my god, the cult. I did it again. Did it again. Woo! I fucked that shit all the way up. Why are these people in my life? Like where did I go wrong? So look, y'all, this has been humbling for all of us. It's been humbling for all of us. But look, we got to do what we got to fucking do. And like I said, on this side of the tracks, we deal with it. We realized it. And we just got to keep it pushing and try to get some motherfucking justice and accountability up in this piece.
About her being suspicious, about her being angry, about her trying to protect her kids. Like, she must have felt like she was taking crazy pills. Like, last week you were a fucking high school chemistry teacher. This week, you're fucking Heisenberg. And another thing that people really don't want to remember and talk about is that he literally watched a young woman die of a drug overdose and did not help her when he could have because he didn't like that she was taking his partner in crime away from him. It was never about Jesse being like addicted or anything like that. He is like old enough to be their father. He could have taken them both to rehab. He could have like done anything else, but instead he stood there and watched a young woman die. Again, I ask you to flip the genders. If a female high school chemistry teacher watched her young student's young boyfriend choke on his own vomit until he passed away, what would the reaction to that be? Would that be a more memorable moment, or would we dismiss it just like we did while watching Jane die in that one episode? I don't know. We all just kind of skated right past that.
And yeah, and then it's also just like, why is this what people are into? Like, listen, if you're like a mature, safe person, I'm not really the type that's gonna question like your hobbies and your taste and like what you're really into, right? But when you realize a community is super, super toxic and unsafe, and then you realize that they think unsafe shit is sexy, yeah, that kind of changes the picture for people like me. Cause now I'm like, you're unsafe over here, and then now it looks like unsafe is kind of just like you're into unsafe. Like you, like this is a you thing. And again, I'm just saying, like, wouldn't it be crazy though? Again, this is just speculation. Wouldn't it be crazy if it turned out the reason that nobody wanted to do anything about Elliot Martin throwing Nancy down the stairs and choking her and sexually assaulting her is because there's some kinky cult crew, some cult within the cult, that this all had to get covered up to make sure that that kinky cult crew doesn't get exposed. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Mind you, the trajectory she was trying to interrupt is her husband getting more people hooked on drugs, killing more people, stealing more money than he knows what to even do with. And also remember, the whole thing started as a way to pay for chemo, as a way to leave his family without like any giant bills, right? He has already paid for all of that 100 times over. The man literally had more money than he knew what to do with, and he was just going to leave his wife to deal with that. He just made it her problem because she's technically now an accomplice. Like, he ruined her whole fucking life when he could have just stopped at the initial, like, I don't know, like, how much do you need? Like $1 million? Like, everything's covered. You can invest some money. You can nice nest egg. You can pay a couple things off. How much do you need? He needed all of it. The trajectory she was interrupting is he was trying to be God. And a lot of men, like dead ass, were like, no, he should get to do that. Like, he
Oh,
should.
wait, hang on. She said try to be God, y'all. I didn't actually watch this. I wanted to go old school. Keep a reaction today. Oh, but y'all, I'm sorry. I just have to say, now that the rose-colored glasses are off and I'm seeing the atheist YouTube cult for what it is, they let this man call himself Atheist Jesus. I swear to y'all, I heard it recently, and he don't even be shy about it. He leans all the way into it. Like, he'll be like, "It's me, Atheist Jesus." The way they literally let this man tell them he's the fucking Prince of Peace while he's low key throwing women down the stairs, like, that's just. And the atheists, they just eat it up. Oh, Elliot, it's because he's handsome and his hair is long like Jesus. Get it? Oh, Elliot. Oh, Elliot, when is your next secular leadership course? I'll be sitting right in the front. Y'all, shit funny to me. I can laugh. I'm not going to Nanocon. Fucked up shit won't be happening to my black ass. And it won't be happening to my mods. It won't be happening to my friends. Y'all are in danger.
Get to just ruin a bunch of people's lives. Like, why is she getting in his fucking way? Like, I just want to kill her. Like, some of your brain is missing. I'm sorry. Some of your brain is actually fucking missing if you actually think that. And this is what I mean when I say we cannot count on men for morality. Like, we do not get our morality. We do not get our moral standards from men.
Yep.
We have them despite men. Because again, they will just watch something being framed as a protagonist journey, and they're like, great, everything he does is perfect.
Yeah, that's literally, that is what this is to people for Elliot. We're all a part, we're all just fucking NPCs, we're all just fucking non-playable characters, and Elliot's fucking motherfucking hero arc. Like this is all about his motherfucking character development, right? And adding layers to his fucking leadership profile. Oh my God. What the fuck have we gotten ourselves into, y'all? Listen. Grab the motherfuckers from this space that you care about and get the fuck out. Like, it's not a good idea to identify as part of the atheist YouTube community in any meaningful way. Like, a community of atheists that you met through YouTube. Rock with that. I know it's a few more words, but I'm gonna have to start finding a new way to describe the people in my life, because no. And yeah, like, I don't know, we're losing subs, but maybe we should be losing subs, because I don't know, like, I feel like this is a new arc for us. Like, we have to deconstruct from atheist YouTube. Like, this needs to be a counter apologetics channel. Like, yes, people need to leave Christianity because that shit is a cult. But maybe we need to just be all the way more focused on leaving the cult of internet atheism, because, you know, the victims of the atheist cult are like double culters. Yo, we gotta start calling ourselves that. We're double culters. Like, yeah, I was a Christian. Yeah, and then I figured out the Bible was sitting on some fucking bullshit. And then I became an atheist. And then I found myself in a cult again. Damn it. Damn it. This shit happened again. Now I don't know what the fuck's going on. But yeah, y'all, we're officially double culters. We gotta add that to our religious trauma. We're gonna sound like some fucked up ass apologists. We're gonna be sitting there in front of the goddamn fucking therapist. I gotta talk about my therapist, doc. Yeah. Oh, really? Were you in a high control religious group? Yeah. Yeah, actually I was in two of them. Two of them? Yeah. Yeah, I was in a Christian cult and an atheist cult. Did you just say you were in an atheist? Yeah, doc, I was in this fucking atheist cult on the internet. Right? You gonna sound like a fucking apologist. He gonna be hitting you with Uncle Bobby like, I thought atheism wasn't a religion. Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, atheist just means you don't believe in God. But I don't know. I needed like a sense of community and then some hope, meaning, and purpose. So I ended up in this cult of atheists on YouTube. Yo, why is my life story so fucked up? Oh my God. Why? So I don't have a fucking girlfriend. This shit is not cute.
And anyone who's getting in his way should be executed. Whole time he's a violent criminal. Whole time the person getting in his way is his well-meaning wife who's just trying to protect herself and her children.
Yeah, literally.
Knowing
Listen, yo, this is what it's like to be the victims in this, the victims and the whistleblowers in this shit. Like literally, you're the bad guy for like trying to protect people, for like trying to be normal and like keep everyone safe. Like you're the bad guy, and it's crazy. Like that's the energy people have. Like the guy at the beginning of the fucking video. I just wanted to kill Skylar and just get her out of your way. Like I told people that. Like, listen, people ask, why did these group of women, for instance, why did they support Nancy for a month? And then allegedly when her husband came along, all of a sudden they stopped supporting her. My answer's been the same every single time. Control. What they call support her was she was under thumb. She had been, they did not call the cops. Nobody did the right thing. And then they did not protect her from him. Instead, they did the opposite. They facilitated his coercive influence. They were like, oh, he feels so bad. He told us to believe you, but he feels terrible. He just wants to talk and work it out. And do you mind if we have him on the shows? And is it good? Can we go hang out with him and do sexy time? Like whatever. Like and so they're able to offload all of their not addressing it, not holding him accountable, not doing a god thing about it. They can successfully blame her. And she's in with them, and they can say, hey, she thinks it's all good. She said it's all gravy, baby. She said it's all gravy, baby. So when the husband finds out, and the husband also finds out about how these people have been treating her and what the fuck has been going on, he's like, no, these people are not your friends. We're not doing that anymore. Now all of a sudden, they don't support her, and now all of a sudden she's a liar, and now all of a sudden she's only saying that this happened because the husband found out. And what about? And then people are like, well, why did they stop supporting her? Control. They lost control. Previously, it was believe her, support her, be down with her, be there for her, because they knew she was under his thumb, and they could all back channel it and keep the shit under wraps. Once the husband finds out, says, no, you're not talking to them bitches anymore. Now, all of a sudden, done. Now she's a liar. Now it's not true. And that's when they start running around telling everybody the bullshit, doing the flying monkey thing. It was never about supporting her. It was never about supporting her. It was always about protecting him. Just like the guy at the beginning of the video. They wanted to get rid of her to make it easier on him, so he could continue to go up. This was just a big inconvenience. Do we go with the charismatic white guy who was the conference organizer and threw her down the stairs, or do we go with the fucking victim here? Nope. Going with the victim would be inconvenient for everybody. It would make all this shit look bad. So if we can keep her fucking quiet, then that's acceptable. But the moment we lose control and we no longer know if we're going to be able to keep her quiet, now we got to throw her all the way under the bus and just make sure she's all the way up out of here. That's when their tactics towards her change. That's when they get aggressive. That's when they start being angry towards her. That's when they're reaching out saying, I hope you're hurting. Yeah, you, AJ. That's when they're contacting the husband and telling the husband, hey, did you know your wife likes to get raped? And then they turn around and play in your face and tell you they've been supporting the victim this whole time. And then get you ready for sexy, sexy, sexy time at Nanocon. And then they turn the entire community against her. That way, if she speaks up, no one will believe her. Because the smear campaign has already told everybody she wanted it. And there's video evidence that it didn't happen. And who the fuck gives a shit? There was already an investigation, and the investigation didn't go anywhere. And she's really only saying it even happened because of her husband. And it was failed consensual non-consent because she was trying to join our kink group. It was just a little sexy, sexy, sexy time at Nanocon. And that shit worked. Because now when she writes a 10-page letter stating exactly what happened and gets it notarized, link in the description, nobody's got a goddamn thing to say about it because everybody's been stunned into silence and they're all afraid to speak out. Literally on some Breaking Bad shit. Elliot Martin literally broke bad in the motherfucking atheist YouTube community. Whoops, turned out he has a history of this shit. Damn. No, we'll get him next time. This was next time. And the solution to this community was to get rid of her, get rid of her sister, and get rid of the whistleblowers. The people who were just trying to keep motherfuckers safe.
Damn well he's gone off the deep end. She could have and should have done more, but she spared him a lot of the consequences. But men wanted to see him take it to the very end. Men wanted to see the villainy. They wanted to see more killing. They wanted to see him gain more power. Like he already had more power and money than he knew what to do with. He was going to be infamous in these, drug circles for decades, for maybe hundreds of years. Like he was freaking Pablo Escobar. Like he was already there. He made it. He made it. And so many men just have this insatiable greed for power. They want to live vicariously through other men who are also crazed and power hungry. And literally, like, they're giving it away. They're giving the fact that they have no morals of their own when they're like, I just wanted to kill her for getting in your way. You wanted to kill her so that Walt could continue being a violent criminal. You didn't think that a woman should get in the way of that. So that tells
exactly. Y'all wanted to get Nancy out of the way so you could continue to platform Elliot, so you could continue to promote him as a fucking secular community builder, so he could continue to promote his secular leadership classes. And who does he promote those secular leadership classes with? The atheist community of Austin, secularizing, recovering from religion, the Clergy Project. Where do you think these flying monkeys get this? They're all in this incestuous shit. Godless Engineers, John Gleason. Read Nancy's letter in the motherfucking chat and look for Godless Engineer. People act like it's a game around here. People act like these flying monkeys. People act like we sweet over here. People act like we sweet over here. I'm about to click the link in the description of my own live YouTube while I'm live on YouTube. They think it's sweet over here. They think it's sweet over here. What's wrong with y'all? Let me get this shit on screen. I made this shit searchable. You hit this shit with the Control F. Where the fuck? What is going on? Oh, there we go. Those next 3 weeks were a tailspin. The first people I reached out to for advice were John Gleason of Godless Engineer and his wife, KC. Within the community, it was them I knew best. My husband and I had even once stayed overnight at their home, so I trusted their opinion on what I should do. I also hoped they knew Elliot better than I did and could give more insight into his character, since all I really knew of him was what I saw on YouTube. I sent a detailed email to them explaining the situation. They had a phone meeting with him. They knew exactly what happened. They called me after to report that they believed he was genuinely sorry and took responsibility for his actions. The last we heard of Elliot was he was saying, believe Nancy, and taking responsibility for his actions. They told us he felt so bad he had to go to therapy. What do you have to go to therapy for if nothing happened? Which brought me much relief. They said that he requested to speak to me, and I agreed. Notice how instead of saying we're trauma informed and y'all shouldn't be talking, they were like, hey, he wants to work things out. And so they're working with him to keep her under thumb and keep all this under wraps. That night, Elliot called me and we spoke for several hours. That should not have happened. Part of the reason John Gleason of Godless Engineer, who's sponsoring this year's Nanocon, doesn't want anybody talking about the assault at Nanocon isn't just because he's covering for fucking Elliot. He doesn't want people reading Nancy's letter and figuring out that he was part of the unsafe community response, facilitating fucking coercive communication between a victim and her assailant, rather than participating in going to the organizations and the people responsible and holding his ass accountable. And then these motherfuckers have the audacity to play in your face by continuing to sponsor this year's Nanocon. And again, I just clicked on the link in the description of this here live stream while I was on this here live stream. If you don't know, it's because you don't want to know.
Tells me you as a man would never get in the way of that. These same men, though, will get really mad when you say it is all men. These same men will get really mad if you say, well, men do this or men think like this. Not all men, but men protect women. Should we just stop, please?
Yeah, all these organizations are incestuous. They're all playing a fucking shell game. They're all playing that, like, where's the marble? Where's the which one is it under? Yeah, no, they're all doing that. That's why people got to realize this whole shit's been a fucking grift and a cult. And again, why do atheists need these organizations? It's just patriarchy, capitalism, and white supremacy. Again, it's just a haven of the failure class. It's just a haven of unqualified white boys. Check the stream we did last night.
Please, because this is the kind of protection y'all have in mind. How you could look at a mother of a disabled child and a fucking baby whose husband was literally out here after having made millions of dollars that they will never be able to even launder in their entire lifetime. After doing that, he was still on a
Great to
trajectory
see you,
of
Steph.
crime and violence, but she's the bad guy. The mother of two who never asked for any of this, who stood by his side in sickness, in health, in poverty. She knew she was going to be stuck with the kids and the medical bills and everything. He had the nerve to freaking get her pregnant, having her start all over when their boy was already in high school. Just so you know, men don't think about shit like that. They don't look at women and think, wow, her life must be hard too. They literally are just like, why does this bitch keep getting in his way? Because frankly, and a lot of them are telling on themselves, because they're like, if I had a chance to do this, I would do it too. And I would be just as power hungry. I would be just as ruthless. I would be just as degenerate as this man became. And I'd kill you if you got in my way. I'd kill you too. Because again, Frankie's whole justification for it was like, you're a bad guy already anyway. Why not just off her too? What do you mean? He started off doing this for her. Like, what do you mean? That would defeat the whole point. Like, men don't even care about continuity. Like, they don't even care if the fucking story makes sense.
And again, like, yeah, like, think about that with the shit where we're at. Like, first off, like, that's what they did to her, and they tried to use their little influence peddling. Oh, we're, you know, they that was another thing. They all rallied around her, and they were gonna give her so many opportunities and so many collaborations, and she was gonna be one of the cool kids at the popular table, and ooh, she could even participate in their kinky cult crew, right? And now, once she became an inconvenience, boom, thrown all the way under the bus. You got to get the fuck up out of here. Your sister's got to get up out of here. All these whistleblowers got to get up out of here. And now we're the problem. Tell you another reason nobody else is talking about this shit. Because I am. Because I'm the one fucking talking about it. And whether you are on the side of people who are defending Elliot, if you're on the side of people defending Elliot, who's responsible for all this hullabaloo? It's actually Jay Bundy. And if you're on the side of all the people who want to support victims and are really troubled by what they're hearing happen to Nancy, but are just a bit overly concerned about the response and the transphobia and the misogyny. Well, who's the problem for you over there? Yep, you got it right. That'd be that same Dr. J. Bundy. So people aren't speaking out about it because they see the Bundy derangement syndrome. They see the Bundy derangement syndrome is literally viral. It's going wild. Think about the last video we did, right? The whataboutism and shit. Every time somebody says, what about Jay? What about Jay? What about transphobia? What about misogyny? What about Jay? That's why nobody else will speak up. Because then you will become the person that all these people just want to get rid of. Like they're doing to us. They just want to get us out the fucking way. They just want us to shut the fuck up about this so they can go have sexy, sexy, sexy time at Nanocon. Yay. And they can continue to promote Elliot, and his secular leadership classes can grow, and all the organizations and all the nonprofits and all the popular creators, they can all move on like this never happened. And so do you want to be part of this sexy, sexy, sexy time at Nanocon and the popular kids crew with all the cool organizations and all the popular content creators? Or do you want to go hang over there in the fucking dry Sahara Desert, starving for the sucklings of any influence over there with Jay and his ragtag band of transphobes and misogynists? So people are sitting back and they're weighing their fucking options, right? Because these people just want to get rid of the fucking whistleblowers. They couldn't get rid of the victims. They couldn't get rid of the victim. The victim wrote the goddamn letter. But if they could get rid of these whistleblowers, well, then the letter will go away just like the victim went away.
They're like, just kill that woman. Mind you,
Just kill
again,
that
we're talking
woman.
about a man, a middle-aged man, a high school teacher who took one of his former students and ruined his life, like turned this young man's life fucking upside down, caused a relapse, caused a freaking, now this kid has a criminal record. Now this kid's had to kill people, but nobody's
Oh,
thinking
hang on.
about that.
Let's try to get Kyle those 50 subscribers. Try subscribe to the Kyle AO channel. Kyle, you should be able to drop a link, I would think. But yeah, let's oh yeah, PC dropped it. Thank you so much, PC. But yeah, y'all subscribe to Kyle so we can help her get these 50 subs real quick.
Right? But society doesn't care about young men. Society doesn't care that young men are suicidal and getting into crime and doing no, it's other men that don't care. Because other men were like, just let Walt do his thing. Why are you getting in his way? He's ruining lives. He's the reason people are going to be hooked on meth. And y'all are like, let him get out of his way. And when I say this has real life implications, I fucking mean it. I fucking mean it, because at the end of the day.
And again, y'all, I'm just saying, as a black man, can y'all imagine if I for real did push Nancy down the stairs at a conference and choke her? See, again, and I gotta give this to y'all who don't understand what shit is really, how shit is really sweet, but I give this kind of shit to my students. This is your critical race theory moment of the day. Imagine what would have happened if my black ass threw Nancy down the stairs, threatened the fucking fucker right there, exposed her, exposed myself to her, and then right before she finally got all the way up out of there, I turned around one more time and strangled her. I'm sure none of you would be watching this channel right now. But I'm also sure I'd be in prison. I'm 1,000% sure somehow, magically, and this is what I mean when I say this is critical race theory. Magically, if it were a black man who people even heard had thrown a white woman down the stairs and choked her, not only would somebody have called the cops, everyone would be asking each other to make sure people had called the cops. Think about that. And if they weren't sure, they'd have just picked up. They'd have been like, yeah, you might have gotten a few calls about this, but just to be sure, just to be clear, I just wanted to make sure that yeah, I just want to make sure. Just oh, actually, we've gotten about 17 calls in the last 30 minutes. Oh, okay. Congratulations. You literally just got a fucking undergraduate level lesson in critical race theory from somebody who actually fucking teaches sociology and anthropology. Isn't that magic? Isn't it magic how that just that one little whoop, just one little swap-a-doodle. I always say this, the best part about being black is when you fuck up, all of a sudden motherfuckers find their moral clarity. When a black man fucks up, all of a sudden motherfuckers know the handbook, they know the protocols, they know the fucking procedures, they know who to fucking contact. There's transparency. They're like, we want you to know that allegedly there was a super angry black Negro, and we hear he catapulted a black woman down a white woman down the stairs, and then him and several of his accomplices, right? All of a sudden there'd be new details people hadn't even heard before. There'd be fucking new side characters and plot twists and shit, right? But don't worry, 45 participants called the cops within 22 seconds. Woo! That white boy shit must be sweet, man. Because it looks crazy from over here on this side of the tracks. It looks crazy from over here on this side of the tracks.
are we looking at right now? We're looking at a
I
felon
saw a
in the
gun.
United States president's office who is
There it
literally
is,
only
Mike.
there because people were literally like, I would rather DIE, I would rather perish than vote for that woman because she's a little unlikable and I don't like how she laughs.
Yup, facts. And I'm gonna keep it real too with the wars, with the Christofascism, with the Epstein files, with the tariffs and the economy, with the everything of it all. I'll be telling people that's how desperately y'all wanted to vote against y'all couldn't vote for a black woman. And yes, again, I'm talking to you liberals and leftists. I don't give a fuck about MAGA. Y'all think if the for real, everybody left of center had for real showing up for Kamala, Donald Trump would be president right now? If you do, you're a fucking nincompoop. We didn't need. Yes, she made campaign mistakes. There were plenty of mistakes. Let's just put that on the table. But the alternative was Trump, and you knew that. And the amount of people that voted third party, stayed home, all of a sudden she didn't pass the purity test about Palestine, even though she said she supported a ceasefire, while the other dude was like, yeah, I'm gonna tell Israel to just pretty much go ahead and end this thing on day one. But people, and I'm still mad as hell about it, because that is, again, that white boy shit. America's like, Kamala didn't articulate a plan for me. I'm like, you have never, listen to me, white people. You have never in your entire adult life had a candidate tell you 5 major kitchen table issues that they were going to establish on day one and give it to you with a number. I need every man in this every man under the sound of my voice to listen to what I'm about to say to you very carefully. That is what it's like to be a woman. Donald Trump spent 4 years as president of the United States of America and ran for his second term with concepts of plans. Did you hear what the fuck I said? Donald Trump was president for 4 years. Mishandled everything, was a criminal, all the rapey shit, all the grabbing by the pussy, all of that. Put his ass in the White House, failed COVID, failed everything, led the goddamn insurrection, hang Mike Pence, all that shit. 36 fucking felonies. His punishment for 36 felonies, sorry, Mr. Trump, didn't mean to inconvenience you. Good luck in your upcoming campaign. And then he's running on concepts of a plan. Kamala Harris is literally like, I'm going to give you this much money to start a family. I'm going to give you this much money to buy a house. I'm going to give you this much money to start a business. I'm going to do exactly this to help fund your local schools. People are like, she just doesn't speak to anything really practical to me. And I just wish she would articulate a plan. And yeah, I just can't get with her. She just doesn't seem to have a plan. And also she's a genocider. She's like, I think we need a ceasefire. She's a genocider. She's a genocider. She's a genocider. Trump is like, yeah, I'm going to tell Bibi Netanyahu to just nuke him on day one and go ahead and do what you got to do, brother. He is the president of peace. So you may not think that has anything to do with what the fuck is going on with Nancy. Oh, that shit has everything to do with what's going on with Nancy. Because like I said, with all due respect, Elliot's kind of a degenerate pot dealer from what I know. Maybe he's moved on to some other degenerate way of life. I don't really give a fuck. But yeah, he's a degenerate, useless asshole with literally no qualifications that anybody's ever been able to speak of. Yet is heralded as hero, celebrity community organizer who everyone should sign up for his leadership classes. Meanwhile, Nancy's actually like a boss lady with fucking badass, like fucking life experience and like professional expertise and like I want to travel. Weren't y'all in the military, some shit? Like Nancy got a motherfucking story and some real fucking sophistication and competence to her. And again, the community's like, please kill that bitch. Please get rid of her as soon as fucking possible. Can we get a sniper on the roof? Like really? Like they literally just wanted to take Nancy and the Apostate Sisters all the way up out of here to protect their chosen predator. So they could laugh in all of our faces while he calls himself Atheist Jesus. And everyone yucks it up. And then motherfuckers want to give me smoke for saying that atheist YouTube is a fucking cult. Woo!
So she's no different than a criminally accused and convicted rapist. Than
She is a
someone
hero
who
to every
visited
survivor.
the
Facts.
Epstein Island multiple times. But people just didn't want to vote for the woman because she's a bitch. So yeah, to say the least, please stay safe out there. Love y'all so much. Godspeed.
So yeah, y'all, that's what the fuck we are dealing with. Like, I don't know. I do not know. I do not know. Like, I just like what do you even say? What do you even say when you're dealing with people like this? Listen, y'all, real talk, we just need your help. People need to speak out about this. I'm sick of the bullshit. Where is the fucking content? There's 104 days until Nanocon. Grab the link to Nancy's letter in the description. Grab the link to Patty's video also in the description. Send that shit far and wide. Send it to your favorite content creators. Hey, all those people who came in talking about, well, the whole atheist community isn't rotted, and many of us, we love women and we're here to support the victims, and my favorite atheist content creator has nothing to do with this, and they would definitely never participate in a cover up something like this. This is terrible, but don't slander the entire atheist YouTube community, because there's a lot of great people on atheist YouTube, and this is only a small fucked up group of rotted ass apples. Cool. Send them the links that are in the fucking description. Let them know what happened. And let them know we're waiting to hear from them. Amazing, amazing. Y'all know I'm a scientist. I be telling my students, what does it mean when Dr. Bundy says he's a scientist? I'll be experimenting. I'll just be experimenting. You know, I'll just be trying shit. Let me just be trying shit. Let's do an experiment. So let's do an experiment. Don't tell me your favorite atheist content creators are better than that, motherfucker. Show me. Show me the evidence that your favorite atheist content creators are better than that. Send them the motherfucking links. Email them. Send them a personal email. Make sure you express your deepest concern and your sincerest hopes that they will publicly address this. Get up in that Discord. They're always talking about community. So I'm sure if you drop this in their atheist Discord, community, they'll be right on it. They'll be right on it. Next time they drop a video, and they're going to be making fun of Christians, talking about community, talking about public safety, talking about believing women, talking about morality, talking about all the scandals in the church. Drop this little info on him. Let them know what happened at Nanocon, and let them know you are anxiously waiting to hear from them, because you know they are not part of this online toxic atheist cult bullshit, and that you know they are better than that, and that they believe victims, and that they believe in holding content creators and organizations accountable, and they're going to be right on it. They are going to be right on it, I promise you. I promise you, they'll be right on it. They'll be right on it. Where's the fucking content? This is what we're hearing in the streets. Crickets. The river is flowing. The birds are chirping. The flights are flittering. I feel like I could just. You know what I'm saying? I could just catch a whole deep meditation in the atheist space right now. Just inhale. Exhale. Just be here now. You know what I'm saying? We could catch a whole deep ass meditation up in this piece, because these people ain't saying shit. Where is the fucking content? And please do not fucking forget, hit my goddamn music. It's about Elliot. 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 Where you at? 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 It's about Elliot. It's about Elliot. Who did it? Who did it? Who did it? We'll see you next time.